Today, we're diving into a serious shake-up within the Labour Party, and it involves some very prominent figures. Yvette Cooper, Labour's Shadow Home Secretary, has publicly condemned her party colleague Dawn Butler for recent comments about Kemi Badenoch. And that's not all. Cooper's criticism seems to have a deeper layer that could reflect on Keir Starmer's leadership itself. Let's break down what's happening and why this could spell big trouble for Labour. Alright, here's the story. Recently, Dawn Butler made some highly controversial remarks about Kemi Badenoch, remarks that have stirred up significant backlash. Yvette Cooper didn't hold back in her response. She called Butler's comments appalling, disgraceful, racist and offensive. Strong words coming from one of Labour's most senior figures, and it's very rare to see someone in the party speak out so decisively against a colleague. But Cooper didn't stop there. She went on to say that if she were in charge, she would have taken action against Butler. That's right. Cooper didn't just criticise Butler's remarks. She implied that Labour's current leadership isn't handling the situation as they should. And let's be clear, that's a pretty direct way of saying she thinks Starmer has dropped the ball on this one. Now, this opens up a whole new can of worms. Cooper's comment about if she were in charge feels less like a hypothetical and more like a not-so-subtle critique of Starmer's leadership style. Essentially, Cooper seems to be saying, hey, I would be handling this differently. This sort of remark can hint at cracks within the party's leadership team, especially since both Cooper and Starmer hold prominent roles in Labour's front bench. Is Cooper's statement simply a defence of the party's values, or is it a deeper message to Starmer himself? After all, Labour's leadership is facing increasing scrutiny over issues of party unity and discipline. And with Cooper openly questioning Starmer's decision-making, it raises the possibility that Labour may be dealing with a brewing internal conflict. Let's talk about what this could mean for Labour moving forward. First, Cooper's strong stance could push Starmer into a tough spot. Does he respond by taking disciplinary action against Butler, as Cooper suggests? Or does he ignore the pressure and risk looking like he's turning a blind eye to divisive comments within his own party? Either way, it's a lose-lose situation if Starmer doesn't handle it carefully, and there's a chance that this disagreement could inspire other Labour members to voice their own criticisms of his leadership. This could even signify the start of a power struggle within Labour. As we've seen before, parties can quickly become fractured when senior figures publicly disagree, especially over issues that impact the party's public image. Cooper is an influential figure in Labour, and if she's willing to break ranks in this way, it might be a sign that she's ready to assert her own ideas about what Labour should stand for and how it should be led. So here's where things get really intriguing. If Cooper's statement is part of a broader dissatisfaction with Starmer's approach, we might see more Labour figures stepping forward with their own criticisms. This could lead to a sort of civil war within Labour, with different factions pushing for their visions of what the party should represent. And as we all know, the British public loves a bit of political drama. This story could develop into something much bigger than just a few sharp words. Think about it. If Starmer's leadership comes into question over how he handles internal issues like this, it could impact his ability to lead Labour into the next general election with a unified front. With the Conservatives already facing their own challenges, Labour might need strong internal unity to capitalise on potential voter shifts. But if senior figures like Cooper are willing to openly criticise their colleagues and by extension the leadership itself, it risks sending a message of division that could undermine voter confidence. So, what's next? Will Starmer respond to Cooper's remarks by taking a tougher stance? Will Butler face disciplinary action, or will this simply simmer under the surface, with everyone carrying on as if nothing happened? And the biggest question, does this hint at larger tensions within Labour that could spill out into the open? We'll be following this story closely, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned.